Welcome to Overwatch. This time we're going to talk about, well, streaming. For the last 2 or so weeks I've been streaming 5 nights a week, every night except Tuesdays and Wednesdays, patch nights usually, so I like to keep those free in case I need to go and make some videos or do something emergency style, although I still might occasionally stream if the mood does take me on those days as well. But the stream's been going pretty damn well, bit of solo queue, bit of PTR when that was up, and a lot of trying to get Overwatch Central's Ryan into Diamond as well on my Smurf. It's been good times. You're more than welcome to come and join me at 10 PM GMT, that's 2300 in Central European, and that's about 2 PM California time, and I imagine you can translate off the back of that as well. But there is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I'm a big fan of this chap, you see. You might have heard of him. He's called Day9. Day9 did a whole heap of VOD reviews, basically going over replays and gameplay back in the day of, well, the high day of StarCraft 2. And the coaching video with Ryan basically works on a very similar vein to that kind of content. And I'd love to do more of that content. A lot of people would want me to do more of that content as well. The problem with that kind of content is it doesn't translate nicely onto YouTube. So, we're going to move a lot of that coaching stuff to the stream. 2 nights a week, Friday and Saturday, we're going to go over either professional VODs, basically tournament review, or viewer games and matches with me talking through them, offering advice and insight, and generally learning about the game through watching and paying attention. I figure it'd be about an hour to an hour and a half each night when we're doing this, with the rest of the night probably either going into games and trying to find a few matches to put theory into practice, or maybe we'll just stop early, who knows. That's one of the hardest things, right, is putting that theory into practice. There's a bit of a cognitive dissonance between knowing something and actually doing it. I myself do it all the time, and you guys get to see my mistakes regularly in glorious high-resolution gameplay footage. You guys probably do something very similar as well. I've heard from countless people, everyone I've heard has tried this. I started watching my games back, and after recording them, I saw myself doing really dumb stuff. It happens. Anyway, you say, how do I get my game reviewed? Simple. First, make sure that you can record it. There's no in-game replay system, so you're going to have to record it yourself. If you have a recent NVIDIA card, Shadowplay is very easy to set up and use. I heartily recommend using it. If not, whatever AMD equivalent there is, I'm not entirely sure if there even is one, or you can use OBS. There's plenty of tutorials online to get those sorted, but because Overwatch has no replay feature, yeah, you're going to have to do it yourself. I put some numbers on the screen as well if you are curious about what you should sort of record at, just to give you guys a ballpark idea of at least what I do. You're then going to have to upload it somewhere. YouTube is probably the safest bet. Just whack it onto YouTube and it should be alright. If you have to go through a verification process, it's literally just giving YouTube a phone number, and that just verifies your account, and that should let you upload in high definition for longer than 15 minutes. If they still even do that, I don't know. If you stream yourself, well, then a Twitch VOD could work as long as it is clearly timestamped when the game that you want me to review begins, and the quality isn't a complete mess, and the screen isn't covered in bullshit. Basically, because it's going to end up as a recording on my stream as well, quality is a mild concern. Okay, you say, I know how to record things. How and where do I send it? Simple. Send a link to your VOD to OAMReviews@gmail.com. There is a link in the description as well in case you missed it here, so send it to that link. In the title, put review, the hero name of the hero that you're playing, and your rank as well, because I need to know the rank to get context of the match. In the email itself, put the link to the game on the top with a brief, let me emphasize this, brief description. I don't need to read War and Peace, I just want a general idea of what's happening in the game, and whether, is it the game that felt terrible, that you got wiped on repeatedly? Is it a game that you felt went alright, but you still want some pointers? Is it a game that you absolutely stomped on, maybe? Whatever, it doesn't matter, although I'll be honest, games that were moderately close, but were a real struggle at the end of the day, are probably highest priority just because there's more to learn from those games. A few more addendums. While watching my stream, you earn points thanks to RevloBot. You can use those points to basically jump ahead in the queue. One of the rewards you'll get that you can basically buy, quote unquote, with those points is the ability to book a spot on one of these streams. So that's a nice way to reward loyalty, just for people who's hanging around in my stream very frequently, who's watching it. It's a good way to just, I don't know, give something a little bit back. Also, Twitch subs will get slight priority here, namely in that if I'm picking between 2 games and one is a Twitch sub and one isn't, they're going to get priority on their gameplay review. I know some people will find that slightly unfair, but just a little bit of an incentive to help keep me afloat, and it's free coaching at the end of the day, so you can't really complain that hard, can you? This is also the part where I add my disclaimers. Any advice I give is, well, my advice. It's going to be honest as well, it's going to be harsh at points perhaps as well. I'll generally, and I do try and do this, deliver things in a polite and constructive manner as possible. So far to date, I have literally had no one really take offense to anything I've told them in a constructive way that isn't in like literally the heat of the moment and everyone's raging and screaming at each other. Just remember that this will also be in front of other people. This will be on the stream, so you will be taking criticism in front of people, in front of a crowd. If you're not comfortable with that, then maybe you might want to hold off. Don't worry, we will be polite and supportive. It's the environment I try to cultivate, and anyone being abusive will instantly just get the kick, so don't worry too much about that. After we're done going over the VOD, there'll be a brief time for some Q&A, and then we'll either move on to some games, or, well, the stream might end there. We'll see how I feel. Final thing, but I hear you say, I can't watch at that time. The VODs will be split up into, I think, nice 20-minute-ish segments and then sent to YouTube. I won't spam you guys subfeed that much, don't worry about it. There's a way you can do it where you just have like one go up and then part 2 and part 3, for example, can be hidden from the subfeed. So you get to just watch all of that in your own free time. If you've got ideas as well to help the stream and help the coaching sessions develop, do post them below in the comments. Looking forward to next week. It should be a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the gameplay footage in the background. This is literally after I got the Genji Oni skin in a pre-made. Yeah, that was quite an adventure. Anyway, toodles.